Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. My name is Tom from 6 Foot Networks. Thank you for joining me today. This video is going to be semi-personal in nature for actually pretty much everything. My family, even my dog, and especially my Bull TV. So I had to hold out a few days in recording this video and publishing it because of the fact that this actually affects a lot more people than what I just mentioned. So essentially, the decision has been made ultimately by my family to say goodbye to the state of California. So as you can see, there's a for sale sign in my front yard now. Coming soon, but the listing will be finalized in the next week and ultimately put on the MLS. So we've started packing. So I love these bags, by the way. They're so awesome. Our entire closet is already packed up except for the stuff that we're taking with us directly, but I digress. Apologies for that. Also, I went to sleep last night and left my windows open in the Bull TV, so sucks for me, but everything's still in the car. And it didn't rain any last night. So here's what's happening. So a couple of weeks ago, we were looking for a house out of state. We were literally just trying to spitball, trying to figure out what the next chapter of our life is going to be. And we got to the point where we just had to look for where our family was, what a decent proximity was between all of our family members, because most of our family, at least my side of the family, is on the East Coast. My mom relocated out there in October of 2021. My aunts, uncles, all of them go up and down the Eastern Seaboard. I have a sister that lives in Florida. I have a sister that lives in Pennsylvania. And my extended family, who I consider my adopted parents, that's a long story in itself. So I have my mom, obviously my biological mom, but I also have people who took care of me during probably one of the worst times of my life. But they're also my mom and dad. So now I have a mom and dad and a mom, and then another dad in Europe. So there's my life story summarized for you in 10 seconds. Suffice it to say, they're all on the Eastern Seaboard, from Pennsylvania all the way down to Orlando, Florida, and anywhere in between. And the idea was, we needed to balance out climate, we need to balance out cost, we need to balance out proximity to our families, so that way holidays were, once again, family events instead of just us in our kitchen, doing whatever. And we decided to look literally in the middle. So between Pennsylvania and Orlando is South Carolina. If you look on the map, it's literally about 9 to 10 hours drive in any direction, either up or down, and you're there. And I used to live in Atlanta, so I like the area in terms of climate, in terms of, just the proximity of things. Going to Florida is an easy drive, and then heading up north to family is an easy drive. It's actually really pretty too. Lots of, woods, forests, mountains, not so much death, if you will, like here where everything is brown and you have to make an honest effort to keep stuff alive here. So anyway, but I digress. So we found a home in South Carolina that is about twice the size of our current house, maybe a little bit bigger with regards to land real estate. And we made an offer on it. It was, my mom actually went to go look at it with my aunt and uncle, and they did their, kind of a walkthrough and inspection, and they seemed to like it very much. So I figured, my mom being as picky as she is, sorry mom if you're watching this, but it is true, you are very picky. As picky as she is, I figured that it was safe to make an offer on it. So we went through the whole financial process and we made an offer on it. The offer was accepted. and we are scheduled to close on that home on June 3rd. If you're watching this in the future, this is all in 2022. So we listed our house for sale, and we've been packing slowly but surely. But I had to give notice. I had to work with my employer. As you guys know, that I do work for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, so I have to, meet the requirements of the lab, and we exceeded that. I worked with my management, and they were really great at making this happen for us, for my family. So if anybody from the Jet Propulsion is watching this, my heart can't say thank you enough to you. You may have ultimately saved my life, and for those that know me, you know exactly what that means. So anyway, not to get too deep on the personal side, we're going to be gone in the middle of June. So today is, I don't know, somewhere in May. Let me see if I can figure out what date it is. Of course, my watch is on the wrong face. So today is Thursday, May 26th. And let's see if I can get you guys some updates that are worthwhile, since you're sticking around and humoring me with this video right now. So, like I said, windows open. Bad idea, but nevertheless, the car survived. So, I've been working with GM. You guys already know from the last video that I had problems, actually from pretty much all the videos, that I've had problems with the local dealerships. And even in the last video, I mentioned that I felt like the dealership was playing with me, and I still feel that way. But now with this move, I was able to actually do something quite a bit better and more exuberant, for me at least. The idea behind the move was that we're going to have the movers come and empty our house out. They're going to load it all up on a truck, and then they're going to leave somewhere in the middle of June, probably the June 13th. We are going to take my wife's RAV4. We're going to get a hitch installed on it on the 4th, and we're going to essentially tow a reasonable sized trailer, for this vehicle at least. I think it's sub 4,000 pounds, but that doesn't matter. We're going to tow a trailer with this that has our immediate belongings, our documents, some clothing that we can use for the drive out, and, a few other things that we can't take on the truck, flammables, explosives, that kind of thing. We do have gas cans for the barbecue. I have gas cans for my weed whacker and stuff like that. Those things I have to take. Sidestepping, we decided as a family to do a road trip in my wife's car. For one, her car is 5 years old, and it only has 20,000 miles on it. So if anybody wants a good deal on a Toyota RAV4 2017, once we make it to South Carolina, hit me up. We'll probably be looking at, getting an EV for my wife at some point. But anyway, so we're going to drive the car out, mainly because of the fact that we had a hard time finding a reasonable accommodation for our 65 to 70 pound pit bull. Depends on the week. She sometimes eats a lot, other times she doesn't eat at all. So let's just say average 65 pounds. We had a hard time finding accommodations for her with airlines, and the ones that would accommodate us, it was really expensive and it didn't make any sense. Also, I don't know if she'd survive the trip. She's really, she's a high anxiety dog. She had a bad past, and that's really the last thing that I want to do is make her life any worse than it was in the past. I want her to have a good life, and we do everything for her. So we're going to actually drive and enjoy the country with her being with us. So we're going to take my wife's car. And originally I was, working with GM and trying to get the buyback and the swap taken care of here in California. Well, fast forward to yesterday, was it yesterday? It may have been Monday. I don't know. Monday, Tuesday, somewhere in there, Monday or Tuesday. I get an email from GM. I get a phone call from GM. I sent her an email. They called me back saying that they could totally I could totally surrender the car here and get my new car at a dealership in South Carolina, which GM told me has been a much easier experience. They are not seeing the problems on the East Coast as much as they are in California alone. So the rest of the, that side of the country is having a better, time getting, the car swapped out or batteries replaced or whatever. So kudos to the East Coast, and thanks California for making life just a little bit more harder, not to mention unreasonable for us owners. And, that's that. So I'm going to surrender the Bull TV in probably 2 weeks to the local dealership, throw the keys at them, and essentially come back home, pack this guy up with a trailer, and then get ready for the movers to arrive so that way they can take boxes and bags and stuff and essentially leave the house empty. So this also goes for my office. So I have to pack my office up, and they're going to actually pick it up the same day, which is amazing. The movers I'm working with are fantastic. I didn't get permission to say their names, so I'm not going to say it. We'll see what the experience is like, and then I'll ask them if they mind me doing a video review on them. And if it works out, for home and business, then I'll be sure to share their information. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So to summarize, don't go to bed with your car's windows open. If you do, make sure it doesn't rain, or make sure you live in a neighborhood where that little tablet right there isn't going to get stolen. But obviously it's still there. And then, so Bull TV surrendered here. New car will be received in South Carolina. Family driving out in a 2017 RAV4 with a U-Haul attachment, trailer, whatnot, and the stuff that we can't ship with the movers, we're going to take with us. Other than that, our time here in California is running out, so we're going to make the best of it and, do what we can do just to get a better life. It's been really rough here. You guys know this. You guys have seen some of my comments. The struggle's real, and in most cases, it kind of leads you to think, like, why? Why does a family have to struggle so much? It's one thing to struggle. It's another thing to struggle California style. And I'll give you guys this hint. Us selling the house and us literally getting into this car and driving across state lines, that action alone is going to save me $65,000 a year. Just to be clear, I'm going to save $65,000, which is one person's average annual salary in most jobs, at least in IT professions. I will be saving that, which essentially will give me back a minimum of 8 hours of my life every day. The thought of this just makes me happy. California has grown so expensive over the last few years, and literally one man working 2 jobs is no longer relevant. One of them being full-time. I don't have to pay full price for insurance, for medical insurance, dental insurance, all that stuff. I get a lot of benefits, retirement, whatever. And when you feel like you get to a point that you can't retire, or you won't be able to retire because you're 40 years old and you have no retirement, and then you go and you try your best to reduce your costs only to influence your life in a negative way where you're like, wow, you know, this isn't right. Something had to give. And this is the outcome of that. So I want to thank you guys for always having been, you know, loyal viewers of this channel. You guys support us greatly. I really appreciate that. I look forward to reading you guys' comments. Like always, I always, you know, enjoy reading your thoughts down below. Speaking of which, go down and leave me your thoughts. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm getting a little bit emotional, and I didn't want this video to turn into a, you know, emotional sap fest. So I'm going to leave it off here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'll answer them as we go, and I'll keep you guys apprised of what happens with GM, of course, and this this MSRP swap that we're supposed to be doing. And hopefully it'll be a smooth transition. They did approve it. GM was actually happy to, you know, to do this because they didn't want to deal with the dealership here anymore. And I could tell by the woman's voice that she was ecstatic when she read my email about, you know, the move and everything, and how, you know, we're not going to be able to do this in time before we leave, blah, blah, blah. Super ecstatic. So with that said, you guys are awesome. Until next time, thank you for watching. I appreciate you.